Hello, welcome to the Chatting with Dr. Stevel show. I'm your host, Dr. Stevel, and today's guest is the owner of JX3 Media. He just went sideways. JX3 Media Productions and the host administrator for the Vicious Circle podcast. Welcome, Rob the Slob Bellamy.
A new name I've adapted. Absolutely.
Rob the Slob. Why did you slob? Like you've had your chance to call Rob the cool guy, Rob the announcer, or maybe just Rob Bellamy, but Rob the Slob.
That was given to me by Kenny Casanova. Yep.
No, you had to type it yourself, from what I understand.
Oh yes, no. When we were doing COVID Con, yes, you're right. I have to type that name. We discussed it beforehand, and the names Deadly Ed and Rob the Slob were actually homages. I'm not going to say ripoffs. They were homages of other names. There was a wrestler called Bob the Slob, I guess.
Bob the Slob.
Yep. And apparently there was a different person named Deadly Fred. So that's why the names were chosen the way they were for COVID Con.
I think the other guy who chose Deadly got the better end of the deal. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I had Bushwhacker Luke text message me going, Rob the Slob. I'm good with that name.
Sure. I can just see when you make it popular. Yeah, local Chatham boy, Rob the Slob Bellamy.
That's right. I'm gonna get a T-shirt made.
I just might get one. Not really, no.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Okay, so you are the host of a radio or a podcast called the Vicious Circle Podcast. Hello?
That's right. With the vicious one himself, Sid Vicious.
Yeah, okay. So how does a man like you, I don't mean anything about a man like you that lives in Chatham, Ontario, team up with a wrestler, a superstar that lives in Arkansas? I mean, what's the story there?
It was blind luck and a perfect storm of people, because his friend Barry knew a guy I knew, Steve, and Sid went to Barry, not you. Sid went to Barry and goes, I want to do a podcast because he's got his book he's working on, and there are stories on the internet and coming out in podcasts that people won't let him rebuke. So he goes, I want to do my own podcast. And Barry's like, I don't know how to do a podcast, Sid. I know. So he gets a hold of Steve. I had known Steve because Steve would get a hold of me to have people interviewed for the movie Madhouse.
The movie Madhouse.
Self-plug. Yep. So Steve knew me from that and said, you know what, here, talk to Sid, because Sid wants to do a podcast. Maybe you can help get him started. So we had him on for an episode of the movie Madhouse, and he really liked how we talked and chit-chatted and the questions. So invited me down. My cousin Pete and I went down there, and we recorded 5 episodes, and we've been doing it ever since.
Wow. So that was just it. He says, come on, Rob, you come down here to Arkansas, I'll power bomb you and everything will be fine. Or how does that work?
Other than the power bomb, yes. Thank goodness.
How far is it to drive from Chatham to Arkansas?
Just over 12 hours.
12 hours.
Yep.
Okay, so you both drove 12 hours to Arkansas. That's cool. Upon meeting Sid, what was your first reaction for you and Pete? I hear it wasn't too favorable for Pete.
Oh, for Pete, it was funny. Funny as hell. We were both, he met us in the hotel parking lot, and we had to follow him to Walmart. So he pulls up, and he goes, okay, follow me. So we're both in shock, It's like, holy crap, that was Sid Vicious. So we get there, and we're walking in, and this is where you can tell the type of lifestyle he's had to live, all right? And Pete and I talked about this afterwards, too, because he's ahead. I'm like kind of beside, but on the edge of behind, and Pete's behind me. And he's, boom, right straight to the electronics section. We get there, and he stops, and he turns and looks at me, and he goes, okay, well, we'll get this, and we'll get this. And then, who's this guy? He doesn't look at Pete. He just motions to him. He goes, is he an extra? I said, no, that's my cousin. He's here to help me with research and getting this whole thing done. And he went, oh, okay. And then he turned and walked into the computer section. So Pete looks at me. He goes, did this just happen? Right? Was I just dissed by Sid Vicious? And so we go in, we get the shopping done. We get back to his place, and it was an entirely different man. Like suddenly Sid's talking to Pete, and it's like we've known each other for years. And this is what Pete and I talked about. He's had to go backstage into wrestling shows with thousands of people, and he's had to compartmentalize. Who do I need to talk to, and who is just extra? You know?
No, that's fair, because I guess he's just like strict businessman, right? And he doesn't want
he's very business.
He just doesn't want fans coming up and taking his time. Now, I kind of understand that to a degree. Like when I was managing, I was preparing for a show, and unlike other people, I got to sit here and think about what I'm going to say and whatnot. And like if I got to charge up the crowd or make my announcement, I'm going through the speech over in my mind. But then there's some people just want to chat with me and chit chat about the weather and how many gummy bears they ate that day to break a record. It's like distracting. So I can see Sid's point of view.
Yeah, and don't get him wrong, like he loves the fans. Absolutely. He's really we do live feeds now for some of the podcasts, and he's really gravitated towards it. He actually suggested the next one, which I didn't think would ever happen. I thought I'd constantly have to push him to do it. But he got a hold of me on the weekend and said, let's do another one of those live ones. So it's like, you got it.
Oh, so
he does love his fans.
With lives, he's got to wear pants, right? So
No, I'm not wearing pants.
And your neighbors just enjoying the view from?
I don't know about enjoying.
Yeah, TMI, I'm not wearing pants either, but that's okay. We won't get into that.
See?
I know, man. This new virtual world is just cool.
Yep. No one will own pants. They'll have 45 shirts. That's all you need.
Pretty well, right? And then when you finally do put on pants after this is all over, it's like, shit, nothing fits, man.
Exactly. Yeah, they all shrunk.
So you did, how many times did you go up there? Because you said you recorded 5 episodes. It now shows you up to 38.
Yes. I've been up there 3 times. Once with Pete and then twice by myself.
Wow. It's a hell of a drive, 12 hours.
It got to be honest, I enjoy it so much. And it's weird because I hate driving to Toronto because I can't get there quick enough. But I love the drive to Arkansas. I can't explain it.
No, it's because you're probably going to go and meet someone you enjoy chatting with and doing something that you want to do. But Toronto, I don't even like going to Toronto when I live really close. I mean, let's say they got an event, say an event happening in Toronto or event happening in Niagara Falls or say even London, Ontario. I prefer the drive to frickin' London than to go to Toronto. I don't like going in downtown Toronto with my vehicle. I mean, not only you have traffic, but you got frickin' civilians, and then it takes 7 hours to freaking get out during rush hour when the on ramp is right there. You got to stop. It's just messed up.
Yeah, traffic does suck up there. You're 100% right there. But usually for Toronto, I'm going up for Blood in the Snow or something. So I park the car and I just walk for the week.
Blood in the Snow.
So
what is
that part
that?
doesn't bug me.
Is that you killing people
festival.
or what? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Film festival.
It's a Canadian genre film festival. And boy, I'm shamelessly plugging everything. That's another podcast I do for Kelly Michael Stewart called Bits Radio. Bits standing for Blood in the Snow.
Well, it's the first time you're actually a guest. Most of the time you're in my position interviewing people and just getting the best out of them. So, hey.
I keep wanting to ask you questions.
Right. So with Sid, when you met him, what does he do now? I mean, I understand he's retired, but if you take retirement like I'm taking COVID-19, I'm just going to get bigger and bigger, and not fun.
I know he does a lot of yard work, like lawn work, and from what I understood, and I've never really actually asked him, to be totally honest, but he's constantly telling me how he's going out and maintaining yards. So I think he still owns the lawn company.
Oh,
but
good.
You know what? I need to ask him because I've never asked him.
Well, because one wonders, because when I was a kid, I used to thought that, okay, wrestler's a person's job. That's what they do for a all the time. I didn't realize that you can have like 32 other jobs. Like Chris Jericho, I mean, he does wrestling. He's got a band. He's been on so many talk shows. I mean, that guy's all over the place. A lot of respect for that.
Yes,
So, if one thing dries up, he's always got something else to fall back on.
exactly. I
And
hear
then
he's a good musician.
that's what I hear. But is that because he told you?
I'm not going to say that out loud.
Because I'm a good musician because I said so. Just saying. A lot of respect for that guy. So that's pretty cool. Anything about? Well, I've listened to some of the podcasts, right, and some interviews he's done everywhere else. He's a well-spoken person. He's very good, nice to listen to, right? He's not a lot of cursing. He's very respectable to everybody. I've never heard him put down any wrestler, whether they've wronged him or not. He would just like
Hmm.
say, roll his eyes or something, but I never heard him put anyone down except one person, me. But that's a different
That's so
story,
weird. Yeah, that's so weird.
right? I don't even
But
know
no,
him
you're
that
right.
well.
The thing with Sid, and especially with the podcast, is because he hears so much rumor, and especially about him, there's so many, rumors and scandals. He wants fact out there. So if there is a fact, he's going to put it out there. And when you ask him about someone else, he's going to tell you, all I can tell you is what I know. This is what I think. This is what I feel. And I admire the man for that, because so many other people will go into so much more.
They'll tell you what they heard, and then that turns out exaggerates into a different story and whatnot.
Hmm.
What's the weirdest rumor that you guys had debunked that you guys heard?
We did one episode that was just rumors, and one of them was about
Okay.
Sid. I think I may have mentioned this to you because I told Sid for the first time before we started recording, and he laughed his butt off. This was a rumor that he used to travel the road with a squirrel.
A squirrel.
Okay. A squirrel. He took the squirrel with him into the locker room. Everywhere he went, he had a squirrel. So one day, the boys in the locker room bet him that he could not put that squirrel in his shorts for a minute. And apparently made it to 30 seconds before he had to go get some stitches.
Right.
Yep. I told him that when he laughed hysterically. We sat down a couple times afterwards trying to figure out what kernel of truth did someone pull from to create that rumor, because that's what they always start from. Somebody hears something that was true, and then it turns into something totally bizarre. But even he couldn't think of something because he's never ever traveled with an animal.
No, he's never had a squirrel down his pants either.
Never, not to his knowledge.
Wow. Okay, so that's just weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
we
like
got
the
a
weirdest thing.
we got Babette Healy saying hi.
Hey, Babette, how are you doing?
Is that what Babette looks like? Is like a little child? Wow, I'm impressed.
That's why it only says hi. They're working on the other letters.
Hi. Cool. So we got one watching. Sweet.
Nice. I'll take it.
Right? That's less than what we got on, live.
Exactly.
Jeez. That's pretty cool. So that the rumors episode, which episode is it? What number?
Ooh, as soon as I said rumors episode, I knew you were going to ask me that.
Yep.
I do not know off the top of my head, but if you pay attention to the website listed right here, you're going to see some things change on there. We've started naming the episodes. So
Good idea.
yeah, the one of the listeners actually suggested it to us. That's the other thing that I love about this podcast. Listener interaction is huge. At the end of every episode, as you know, we have call-ins, and people will call in, talk to Sid, ask a question. So there's always fan interaction. Fans, they email us about it, about changes, about topics, about everything, and we incorporate as much as we can into it. So one of the requests was, could you label the episodes so people have an idea? And it's like, yeah, that is a great idea. So I'm going to go back and start listening, and Randall, the person who runs Electronic Media Collective, we're going to go back and rename the episodes.
Awesome. Now with the Sid episode, when's your next broadcast going to be? It's going to be live, right? Similar to this, so he's going to be on screen.
Yep, it will be this coming Saturday at 9 p.m. our time, 8 p.m. Central.
Okay, 9 p.m. our time.
Yeah.
Where are we where can we find it? At the Facebook or?
Yeah, it'll be on both the Facebook pages, the Vicious Circle podcast page and Psycho Sid Vicious page. Plus, I'll probably stream it on my page.
All right, cool. So we all get to see you talking to Sid. So if I come on again, he's not gonna like badmouth me.
I make no promises.
I mean, geez, I tried to help you out that one time. That's not my fault. He doesn't know the difference between a backslash and a backhand.
Dude, you better hope he knows the difference.
Yeah, like I was looking forward to meeting him at one time, but now not so much.
Oh, dude, and you'll come to know it listening to the podcast. That's Internet Sid. He has two personalities that he's very, very happy with. He has Sid Udi, the guy that's beautiful to talk to, and then there's Internet Sid. And Internet Sid is grumpy and cranky, and boom, he lets you know.
My buddy Zentrius says nice product placement, Doc. What product placement are we talking about? My shirt. You got the
Yeah,
Stevel
nice.
parts. Stevel part's the only important one here. The rest of it,
Not so much.
not so much now. There's a reason behind that, but well, that's cool because yeah, when he did that to me, that lot. Okay, COVID Con. We'll get into that.
Yeah,
COVID Con. You got that as a kind of indirect result from doing Vicious Circle podcast.
kind of. Yeah. Well, no, actually, it's 100% because of the podcast. Um, what it is, Sid has been working on his book, and now one of the people helping him with his book is Kenny Casanova. And Kenny's written many books on Kamala, on Dangerous Danny Davis, Tito Santana. So got talking with him, and him and his buddy John. Oh, product placement.
Yep.
What is that?
What?
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Okay.
It tastes like cough medicine. Yum! Yay!
Exactly.
Get
That's why everybody loved it. So, see, it gives you wings, right?
Sure.
So Kenny and his buddy John started talking about doing this little virtual con, because of the way everything is right now. But they wanted to do it about some authors, and of course, everybody they know writes wrestling books. So it evolved, and it turned into COVID Con. And because I was talking with Kenny, he asked if I would. Originally, he goes, "Would I come on with Sid?" And it's like, "Sure, no problem." Then he said, "Would you mind, moderating DDP and Danny Davis too?" "Sure, not a problem."
Whoa.
Right? "Oh, would you mind, putting together the production part of it?" It's like, what? So it was funny because I said no problem, and then I kind of sat back as Kenny did it anyway. So it was like, this is kind of nice, So Ed took half of it, I took half of it, and we did it over 2 full days. There's like almost 16 to 17 hours a day of interviews to listen to.
Wow. I mean, I know what it's like just trying to get one or two people and then helping them with technology and whatnot, just by redoing this show because of what we were doing. But I
Mm-hmm.
tried to jump on your coattails, see if I can cash in on the glory. But I end up doing mostly research for you, finding out about a lot of these people. A lot of them I didn't care about until I read their bios, and they're fantastic people. I'm glad I did that.
Some of them were so amazing. Yeah, I had no clue either. Like, obviously, like the names DDP and all that. I learned stuff about their backstory I didn't know. Right. And actually, you're probably going to see an episode of the movie Madhouse come out with David Heath. He and I have been chatting since. Yep.
Gangrel.
Yes, exactly. We've been chatting since about a podcast idea. So we're going to do one.
He drew blood from me one time.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned you worked with him.
I did. It was I was working for CCW, the thing out of Chatham that I ran, and I wasn't booked for the show, but the guy that I managed was. So after work, I drove all the freaking way to Leamington, right? I mean, it was a no pay gig, but I mean, my guy's working with Gangrel, so I managed to. So while going there, I'm like thinking, okay, Gangrel, I kind of liked them, I enjoyed them. So now I got to find ways to cut them up. you know, someone that you really admire, you got to find ways to cut them up. I didn't need to do that, but it was in my back pocket. But apparently, the main event, went through the entire fair because it was Leamington Fair, and
Oh
all
wow.
I was supposed, yeah. So I mean, it wasn't just in the ring; it was like totally, you name it. Nothing was really planned. I mean, as one time, it's like I went to scratch him in the back, and he went to rip off my Trump wig because I was the best president ever, best manager, managing the best wrestler in Leamington. He ripped it off,
Love
but
that
he
gimmick.
kind of like, yeah, the nail got too close to my head, and it's part of the game. But he drew blood. I'm bragging for that. Great guy though,
Vampires
fantastic,
do.
right? Oh my God, did you hear about the story about his teeth?
Yes. I felt so
Uh,
bad. If it's the same
I
story
know,
that we're thinking.
right? Yeah, Luna Vachon. She said, "You like to be a vampire? Why don't you get teeth?" So he got proper sharp teeth put in, right? And when he was first wrestling for the WWE before the Gangrel thing, Vince says, "No, there's no way you're ever gonna have a use those teeth. We're never gonna need a vampire." And a few months later, they brought Edge in, and they needed a way to bring him in. So, uh,
The Brood.
you know what? You're gonna be a vampire, and that's
Yep.
after he got rid of it,
Man. I'd be telling you, no, Vince. You told me no.
right? So now I
Okay,
guess
no, I
he's like
wouldn't say that.
pushing, right? It's like Vince says, "Yeah, okay, sure, whatever you want, Mr. McMahon."
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so you got 2 days, 8-hour shifts talking with wrestlers and authors and whatnot. Like, wow,
Yeah. And we're now going to be launching our next one. We're doing mini ones now.
a mini con.
Um, yep. The next one is slated for, is it June 14th?
Okay,
The weekend before Father's Day. I think it's the 14th. It's going to be 6 hours, and I think we're going to have 8 people.
only 6 hours. Wow, that's a hell of a
Yep.
difference from jumping in and
Yes. Yes. That's why this is going to be a walk in the park.
yeah, yeah. Getting back to what you were saying, this also goes with his comment. Online Sid is a heel. Um, I tried to help Sid get on, right?
Big
I mean,
time.
I did. I'm very patient with him because I'm thinking if I raise my voice or something, this is Sid, man. He can just like reach across the phone and just like choke me. I tried to tell him, but he didn't really understand what a backslash was. Which if you don't know computers, I understand. I was there at one point as well. I mean, what are all these stupid symbols?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get that. You're live on the show. You can't help me, right? And then we're kind of going into his time. And I'm being as patient as he can. And we're getting there, or almost getting there, until you took over and you took care of it, which was great. And then for some reason, you put me on live. I didn't want to. I mean, I had nothing to say at that point. Go, Steve, come on. Okay. I'm on. Sid's on. And he goes, yeah, I got on here. And I go, hi, how you doing? He goes, yeah, Steve, I remember he helped me get on here. Jerk. Like, what?
That's it. Gloves are off.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that, it was like, yeah, okay, he's getting to a personality and online, so time to have fun with it. It's
And man,
you
he
can,
loved it. We talked about that afterwards. He loved it.
yeah. So that must have been when I said hello last time he was on. He goes, "Oh, Steve. Oh yeah, gross." I'm like, oh,
Yep.
now I guess we got this online thing happening, and as long as it stays
Well,
that way, I'll be fine. If it goes
oh
live,
yeah.
then I'm out of here.
Well, and see, that's the other thing Sid wants with the podcast too. Is he understands wrestling's entertainment,
Of
and
course.
people love the stories. You know, he wants to talk about himself and his thoughts, but he wants people to be entertained. So
That,
honestly, when I first mentioned you to him, he's like, "Yes, we need to have somebody like him on the show." Because, and he always references, he goes, kind of like Beetlejuice on Stern. You know, you want that comedic personality you can bounce stuff off of. And it's like, oh yeah, I know your guy.
oh, that's perfect. Just like what I did in Shadow, man. I mean, I love doing that. Just the bad mouthing and all this other crap. I think it'd be great because that's what people want to see. People know Sid, right? Like when I'm watching his interviews, I find out he's a really nice person, very well spoken. But when he gets mean, that's what we want to see as fans. I want to see him cut people apart and give them new holes and whatnot.
Yep. They love the promos. Exactly.
Well, we'll keep it up as long as he doesn't ever come to Chatham. I'll be fine.
I make no promises.
That's pretty cool that you guys got involved. So now you've got like 38 episodes. Where are you at now in his life?
Yeah, he was very sad about CKX being canceled. Where,
Oh,
sorry?
sorry. You kind of got cut off there.
I missed that question, Steve.
Um, you're at episode 38. Where in his life are you? Because I guess you're going in order, correct?
Right now, the episode that launched yesterday, is today Tuesday? Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday, yeah.
I think today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Anyway, the one that launched on Sunday was him going into the USWA, which is just after him leaving the WCW for the second time.
Okay. Just knowing about his background, I'm just amazed with this guy. He went in there for the money, right? He doesn't care about rep. He's going to get paid either way. So I think the funniest story was when he was like playing baseball because he was recovering and told to. Arn Anderson's like, I'm going to punish you and you're going to lose to Lex Luger in about 10 seconds. Like, I get paid, right? All right. Put me in a freaking tutu if you want.
Actually,
paying me.
Yep, that was actually Ole Anderson that told him that. Ole was booking at that point. And he goes, yep, as your punishment, you have to lose to Lex in 20 seconds. He goes, but to make it better, I'll be there. And Sid's like, I don't care. Just give me the check. I'm good with it.
I think that's just too funny, man. A few people to walk out on the companies and still get invited back because he's just that guy.
See, that's what really blows my mind about him. Vince does not really like him that much, but he knows what he can do to the point where he calls him to come back. That shows you something about the personality.
A lot of respect for him, man, especially finding out all this stuff.
And it's very interesting to hear a perspective that isn't passionate about wrestling, so to speak. Like they didn't grow up watching it, and like you said, he saw maybe one or two matches growing up. And so when he gets into it, it's strictly from a business standpoint. So it's so interesting to hear that side of it. I got to talk with another fellow because of this, Tito Santana. I had no idea he was the same way. He wasn't a fan of wrestling when he got into it.
Oops. Kind of lost you there for a sec.
Oh, I'm still here.
Yeah. I think the last thing you said that Tino Santana wasn't into it, and then it's blah. You kind of you froze, like frozen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. He was not a huge fan of wrestling at all. He literally got into it for a business, for work.
Well, with both of these guys that were not, fans or fans of wrestling, they both put on a great show and they both stick to the rules and they do a damn good job at it.
They became iconic. I know that's what blows my mind.
Well, because it's business, right? It's like, well, instead of being a fan, I want to do this. Like, all right, this is what I got to do, and I'm going to do it well. So that's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get a 5'2" bald guys, really do much.
I know. I started saying before once, Sid was very upset he's not able to come up to Chatham for CKX because it got canceled and the whole bit. And so we are working on next April's show. There might be something where he's coming up sooner. That's all I can say for the moment. But he wants to come up here. The big thing he wants to come up here for now, and this was hilarious. George, that owns Craves, it's a poutineery here in town. They've become a big sponsor of CKX.
Okay.
Yes. And so George has all sorts of specialty poutines, right? The one that I like the most is a Philly cheesesteak, but he also has one called the Mac Daddy, which is it tastes like a Big Mac. All right. It's crazy. He told Sid to put together his best recipe and he would turn it into a poutine.
Okay.
So Sid he's a huge connoisseur of food. Like when we get down there, I'm taking you down. When we get down there, you're going to see him. He will talk a lot about cooking and eating and about nutrition. So he's been putting a lot of thought into this. So that's why he wants to come down to meet George and see this poutineery.
Wow. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
So now that you've done COVID Con, you've got a lot of people that have worked with Sid, and what you've been trying to do on the show is get a lot of people that worked with him to tell stories and share the stories. Have you got any one
Mm-hmm.
of these people booked?
No, not yet. We've spoken to a few people, like even before COVID Con. We've spoken to a few people that are going to come on and chat, but we are doing it um, a little bit at a time. Like so
Of
far, we've
course.
had Tito on. Tito came on to promote his book, but it was nice because they were in the Fed at the same time together. They never actually worked together, but they
Okay.
were there at the same time. And I went back and looked. WrestleMania 8, it was him versus Hogan, but it was also El Matador in one of the other matches versus crap. Now I can't remember.
The other guy.
But it was the other guy, the one that lost. But they were together in the business at that point. So it was neat to sit back and listen to them talk shop from behind the scenes at that time. And then we've had Danny Davis come on. And unfortunately, this was right when the virus hit us. So Sid and I had the meeting planned. Sid had to run out. He had to go. I think there was a doctor's appointment, and he had to pick up some stuff because he was going to quarantine himself for a while. So Danny came on and was the guest co-host. So those two haven't spoken together yet, but they will. And like I said, we've got a couple other people, but we're doing it just a little bit at a time because that's not the focus. The focus is the wrestling stories, his story, and fun.
Oh, I know. I mean, because we had Fred Ottman who came on as guest, and you've talked to him, and I mean, him and Sid were there for Shockmaster, and I want to hear both of those guys talk about it. I mean, when you get Shock Talk
Exactly.
happening, it's a different story than just telling fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's one of the next people I really want to talk to about coming onto the pod.
So that's pretty cool. I look forward to
Because you're
that.
right, that'd be a blast to listen to those two talk about that event.
Nice. Well, way to go with the Sid Vicious Circle podcast. I'm enjoying it. As I said, he's fun to listen to. There's no cursing. He's just awesome. Awesome host. Glad you're hooked up with that. And what's next for Rob? What's next for Rob the Slob Bellamy?
Rob the Slob. Honestly, the next thing for me is COVID Con Light or whatever we're calling it. We haven't got a name yet. That's June 14th. And then just doing my other pods, Vicious Circle, the Madhouse, and Bits Radio. Hopefully, at some point, I can get to filming again.
Yeah, you've won some awards for something called Hit. Hit the
Yes,
Hitman.
we got Best International Short for Hit the Hitman. Yes.
Wow.
And that's driving me crazy because that's the next thing we want to film. We have 3 more episodes ready to go, but we can't get together to film it. So
don't worry, it'll happen. It'll happen for a reason. All this
exactly.
thing. I mean, COVID Con
Exactly.
got me doing interviews again. So, whether that's a good thing or bad thing, I don't know. We got 2 people
I
that
think it's
are
a great
watching
thing,
us.
buddy.
So, yay. 2 people. So it's doubled
Yes.
from this morning. So I'm happy.
Right? See, look at that. Our audience doubled. It's the Red Bull promo, dude. It's the
Yeah,
Red Bull promo.
Oh, 3. Jeez. What happened?
You just took another drink of Red Bull.
Right. If any of you guys are commenting, come to the Chatting with Stevel page and comment, because if you're chatting on my just the Stevel page, I can't see anything. If you guys are on go to Chatting with Dr. Stevel page, there's a link. You can comment and I can answer.
Did
That's
I fill you in on why that is? Because I found out.
Why?
Because mine's the same way. When we do lives with Sid, I can see the Vicious Circle pod and I can see Psycho Sid, but I can't see my page. And that's because my page is a private page. It's not open to the general public. It's just a private page.
Yeah, the profile pages,
So
you can't see any of that. They can watch it,
you
but we can't see while it's playing live.
Oh, you can't see it live either?
Well, I can't see my own. I just went to my page and I can't see it. But when you posted for COVID Con, you posted to their page and you posted to your page. I was watching it live on your page. I was commenting, but you couldn't see any of it. And then when I went over to theirs, I found there's a whole list of different comments happening there. So for profiles, they just have a different set of rules. which is weird.
It's if the profile is public, you can see it. My
profile is public.
isn't. Is it?
Yeah. I mean, it's Steve-O. I mean, it's a public character. I created him and I made him public because he was like Dr. Evil for the fans. So, but it's a profile page. It's not like a page created off of the profile.
I'm gonna have to contact StreamYard about that again. I thought I had it figured out. They gave me that answer and I was happy with it, but maybe I'm not now.
No, because Rob Bellamy, that's a profile page. So if you post there, you won't be able to see the comments. But if on your other pages that you're administrator to, you'll be able to see it. Nick Belmont, he says hello. You remember him?
I know Nick. How you doing, buddy? We're getting Nick prepped because when we film Hit 6, he's the man we're pulling in.
Oh, really? For the Dalek or what? Or is he going
Nope,
to be like
not for the Dalek.
Is he going
Something
to be like
totally
a spy?
different?
Something totally crazy?
Maybe.
Like, killer assassin? Maybe.
Maybe.
I like the accent on your Russian spy. He's more authentic than anything I can do. Plus, he speaks Russian.
Da.
Yeah, this is good.
It helps he is Russian, too. That
I know. I was listening to him. It's like, yeah, right. Yeah, the words. Yeah, that's Russian. Not just some pretender actor that pretends. I don't want to throw any
literally,
names out there,
that's why we changed it. Because the original story by Hayden Smith, it's an Italian hitman.
And,
right?
I want you to kill him.
As soon as I got that story, it's like, okay, I know the perfect guy, but we have to change the angle. It's now Russian. That's right, Nick. It's a surprise.
It's a surprise. He'll coming in, exterminate.
Yep. It'll be even funnier because he won't be in the suit.
I don't want to know. TMI.
Nope.
Much.
Hopefully we all have pants by then.
Bring Sid in. See if us take him down. Just walks in with a doesn't even need to wear a shirt. Just come in. I'm the assassin. Powerbomb.
Done.
Just say what?
That could work.
Or just like his first kayfabe job. He just like stands there and just like does nothing and intimidates people. But Bet says Rhonda says hi. Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda. Whoever, I'm not sure who Rhonda is, but I'm definitely hello, Rhonda.
You have seen Rhonda's work. She does the Predator. She does the Alien. She does the
Rhonda. She was going to be one of our judges this year for the cosplay contest.
She's a fantastic special effects costume artist.
She is freaking amazing.
The only bad thing about her is she's got stage fright. She won't enter costume contest. She's not comfortable. She's just comfortable in her own skin or in latex skin, walking around entertaining people. When it comes to bragging and stuff,
that's good. That gives people a chance because they wouldn't stand a chance next to her stuff.
Oh, I understand that. But as a fan, right, seeing Rhonda's work, I wouldn't mind her having a booth set up, and she doesn't have to be there, of course, have a couple other people, just like of her costumes, the Predators and the Krampuses and the Crows and all the other cool stuff. Because like we just like, freak out over it. It's amazing.
Well, we're inviting her back for CKX 2021, so maybe we can convince her to bring some displays.
But on that, so it's also a lot of work. But if she wants to do all the work, or she just wants to come over and have fun, that's up to her.
Yeah, it would be good. It would be nice because you're right; those costumes are just killer.
As fans, Rhonda, we want to see it, man. We love you. You're awesome. Hold on. Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Abso-frickin-lutely. Wow. So yeah, we pretty well covered almost everything. Abso-smurfin-lutely. So it's been fun. Yeah. Anything else you want to say? Or any other last minute people to come on we can say hello to?
No, dude, it's always a blast just chatting.
I know, right?
Yes,
Oh,
drag him on. Because
always
it
sweet.
started out like an interview and then it just turned into us talking. And I think that is so cool.
That's what I kind of like. I enjoyed with most of my Dr. Stevel things. I just want to chat. Like when I talk with Alfonso Espinos, it's just pretty well just chatting about this and that. And me and him got decent chemistry on screen because it's Alfonso. He's similar to you. You can't really get upset with him.
And I'm good with that. I got to do a shout out to Alfonso too, though, because a couple days ago I got a couple of thank yous for putting people in touch with StreamYard. One of them was Benner from Black Fawn. They now do a Tuesday takeover. They do streaming and the whole bit, and they get a hold of me. Thanks so much for telling me about StreamYard. I can't take the credit because Alfonso told me about StreamYard.
Yeah, and because StreamYard, I'm back on, and then a couple of my celebrity impersonator friends like Melody Mendez, who does live COVID Okie cons. She tried it once, and she started inviting people over to dance with her. So there's her on screen, and then there's all the rest of us on there, like in the background. Yeah,
That's so cool.
right. And
That
the
is
guy
so cool.
and Yavin, I think that's his name, Yarin. I apologize if I got your name wrong. He does Heroes Manufactured. He's now doing like either weekly or daily interviews with comic book artists using this platform.
I think that's brilliant. It's very, very weird how this virus has changed our reality and how it's going to permanently change it, especially with the virtual stuff going on right now. This is not going to go away. Even when we're back to talking to each other, this will not go away.
Yeah, this is enjoyable. I mean, I'm back here, except trying to hook up with people, and sometimes audio doesn't go well. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. And as I was talking to Kenny Casanova, the audio was bad, and I could hear him, but the delay on his side probably was really awkward, so he couldn't like
Yeah, we
banter.
kind of teased him. We teased him about that when we were doing our town hall on the weekend because we kept saying he's like on dial up AOL or something.
Oh, so it wasn't me. Way to go, Kenny.
No, no,
Thanks,
no,
man.
no, no.
No wonder he didn't want to stream it live himself. He had you do it
Right?
all.
And that's the fun part about this. Well, you remember from COVID Con because there were so many people that would come on and suddenly there's no audio. So we
Yeah,
got
I
to kick
know.
them out for a second till they try and come back, and then there's no video. The one that I loved, and I thought Kenny was brilliant with it. We brought Danny Davis on, and his feed was choppy, so we had him turn off the video, and so it was just him talking, which is better. So Kenny put a Danny Davis figure up to the camera, going, "Oh, this is Danny Davis." It was brilliant.
The same thing when Bill Apter had a recording from Bruno Sammartino. They took a Bruno Sammartino doll and put it up in the screen.
Yep. The other one that was amazing was Mr. Hughes. Lee Walker was on there, and for some reason, we could not get Mr. Hughes' audio to come through. So he actually called him on the phone, and Mr. Hughes stood there with his camera, and then Lee put his camera up, or his phone up to the microphone. So we got the audio through Lee's channel and the video through Mr. Hughes, and it all lined up perfect. We sit back and look at that and go, we're not going to question it because it worked, and that's all that matters.
The show must go on, and we got to find ways to make it work.
Exactly. We even had fun with it. Brian Knobs, he and I did a test. It was about 10 to 3 because I went on at 3:30 with Lanny on Sunday, right? He and I did that. You were there. We did that 20-minute test. He walked around his yard and got in the right spots, and it was perfect. He went to come on, no audio. So he kept trying. We tried like 4 times. Finally, Kenny comes on. He's got glasses. This is Brian Knobs, and he does this wicked promo. All of a sudden, Brian comes back on, and everything's working. What the hell are you doing, Kenny? And he's like, uh-oh, and he jumped out of the feed. It was hilarious.
Oh, we've got hold on, I've got 5 people on the Stevel show channel watching this. You 5, if you guys want to comment at the side, say who you are, log into Chatting with Dr. Stevel link, because I cannot see your comments if you do decide to comment. And if you do log on to the Chatting with Dr. Stevel page, I'll be able to see your comments and post them sort of like this. Ha 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 by Nick Belmont. So if you guys want, just say hi. It'll be fun. let us know that we're not alone.
That's
I'm
right.
alone.
And you
I am
got to get
alone.
into practice. They got to practice, Steve. They have to practice and get ready for Saturday when they come on and watch Sid live, because they'll want to get
Right.
their questions in there.
Oh, speaking of no, this is a hell of a segue, but it's wrestling. You remember Rage, right? Our buddy Rob Rage, big guy.
Yes, I do.
One time I managed him, and then a fan attacked me for it. Were you there for that?
Which time? It's like
Well,
attacking Seville is a thing.
I know, right? But he's going to be on tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and he's going to talk about
Nice.
behind the scenes of Dark Side of the Ring.
Nice. Who did he play again?
He played Hawk from the Road Warriors from the second most watched episode, and he also played Hulk Hogan in many of the episodes. As you can see on the screen,
Nice.
like the Hulk Hogan brother, they kind of like taped hair to his head and whatnot. But he's more of a natural for Road Warrior Hawk. And
Very
it's filmed in
nice.
Toronto, so he's got a lot of cool stories about it. And the people they worked with are people that we know, people that we watch all the time.
Actually, a couple episodes ago on the Vicious Circle, we had Steve Kassan on, and he does the same work on Dark Side of the Ring. He's in those segments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Steve is from The Shelter and Hit, and like Sumac Ditch. He does a lot of stuff. We love working with Steve, but he did a lot of backstage stuff too for Dark Side, and I find that stuff fascinating.
Because yeah. Oh, hold on, Rhonda. You two are awesome. Mwah.
Hey,
One of her
Rhonda.
costumes.
Yes, I love that.
Perfect costume for this pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. She's safe
Yep.
because people will definitely get away from her. No.
The thing about Dark Side of the Ring is like a lot of our buddies go in, they get to be wrestlers, and turns out it's a freaking really, really well written and filmed series.
It
I've
is.
watched them all. The next one coming out is going to be the Death of Owen Hart.
Yeah. Now, the interesting thing too, working with Sid, is he's finding a lot of errors in some of their stories.
Oh, really? Any
Yeah.
example you want to?
The one that just jumps into my head is when with Chris Benoit when they did that one. How
Right.
they said he came back to the ring and then they took off. They won the belt. He put over Chris and then they took off to WWE. Well, actually, what happened was when they got backstage, they were fired.
What?
Yeah, because when he was going out to the match, I think it was Ole at that point too. My phone is acting weird now; it's starting to shut off on me. He was told, I think it was Ole. I forgive me if I'm getting the wrong name. He came up to him and said, "You know what? For the pin, put your foot on the rope." And Sid's like, "Okay," you know. He didn't think anything of it. He thought, okay, maybe you got an angle where tomorrow we're going to say, look, someone cheated. Let's do a rematch or something like that. And then when Chris got to the back, they fired the lot of them, and that's when they went off to WWE.
But why would they give him the belt and then fire him? That's kind of silly. Oh wait. From one dog to another. See you soon, Rhonda. From my friend Karen. Hey guys.
Hey, Karen. They're logging into the right page now. This is perfect.
Yay. It's about time. That's cool. I mean, it's kind of tough because everyone's a fan or they're friends with the Stevel, but the chatting with Stevel has kind of like just been there in the background forever. And I'm just now bringing it up to light. That's where I post a lot of my interviews.
Yeah, I know I've gone back and looked at a couple of videos, but you're right. It's just been something to go look at. It's not something you had to pay attention to.
Yeah. Now I was just asking before, everyone said hello. Why would they have him win the belt and then fire him? That's kind of silly. It goes against everything about the business.
Yes and no. It depends on the angle they wanted to take. and they did take it that way. They turned it around and then vacated the belt and did a whole thing with it. So they turned an angle into it. But like Sid said, this is my job. And he was the kind of guy too. Like he would put in his 2 cents. When it came to 2001 with Sin, they kept saying, "Okay, we want you to do this jump," and it was a reference to some wrestlers from that area, right? Because I don't think this is a good idea. And they said, well, this is why we want you to do it. So he would put his 2 cents in, but ultimately he would follow what he had to do.
He's the boss, right?
Yep.
I don't know. From Johnny Miller, the Colonel Sanders, the face of KFC. Howdy, guys. Question. In one of his favorite bulk up proteins, tasty fried chicken, inquiring minds want to know.
Well, Johnny, yes and no. Okay. Chicken is a huge part of his diet. Almost to the point lately, where he's going, you know what? I need to have something else because I've had so much chicken. Fried chicken, not so much. Me, on the other hand, oh yeah, I got the body for fried chicken.
He's got the fried chicken body. Same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
After I did my interview with you, Johnny, I kind of bought fried chicken, KFC. I'm not
so
sure.
Weird.
I just had this
I'm suddenly having that urge.
Right? See?
Yeah.
Product placement. Have KFC. Colonel Sanders come on himself.
I got it. Hello, KFC. Yeah, can I place an order?
Geez,
that's because I'm on my phone.
The friends that we know. I mean, Colonel Sanders, Sid Vicious.
Right? They go from one side of the spectrum to the other.
Right? Oh man, just hell of a world we live in. It's freaking awesome.
I love it. I do.
Hey, you know what? You want Colonel Sanders to come over to CK Expo?
See, look at this. Steve can make things happen.
Just get KFC, your local KFC, to sponsor him. Have him fly down. I mean, promo for them. He gets a little bit of work. People get chicken.
Now I'm thinking.
I don't know. Why not, right? Have your local KFC sponsor this guy. Come down to KFC or CK Expo.
Yes. Oh, I'm thinking about that now. Oh, man. You don't know anybody that looks like the Noid, do you?
The Noid?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's my
Todd
favorite.
Shaw.
There we go.
Todd is
had
Noid.
to sneak that in.
Of course. Well, that's the first thing I thought when you said annoying. Todd the Block Shaw.
Oh my gosh. And see, those shows I miss. Watching YouTube banter. Nothing will ever top the participation award. Nothing will ever top that.
Oh my God. With that, I just decided to take my time with it. And I think the funniest part was I actually started explaining what was on the picture and what was said. And I think that kind of put it over the edge. With a little Elmo saying, "You can do it. Congratulations."
Exactly. That was beautiful.
I was thinking of it just inviting him on to banter, just for shits and giggles.
Oh, you guys sitting there cutting promos to each other? That would be a blast. Todd, if you're listening, get a hold of Steve.
Yeah, Todd. I have my own Funko Pop. Do you?
See? Someone's already starting, Todd. You got to get caught up.
But hey, Todd, if you do come on the show, I will create a Funko Pop for you, and I will present it to you on the show, virtual. And you can see if you want to, continue with it. A Todd the Shaw Funko Pop.
I'm a little scared. I will admit I am a little scared to watch that show now. I don't know what that Funko is going to look like.
Well, I do.
Yeah, I don't doubt you do.
He's earned that name, though.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
Right? Jeez. I was thinking it could be funny. Uh-oh.
I think that would be a blast.
I think so. It's just like a banter of us cutting each other up. And thing is, we won't know when to break out. It's more fun. I've forgotten how to talk to him nicely. I really have.
You're
Kind of like,
too in
he'll
character.
right. He'll comment and saying, "Hey, nice car," and I'll go, "Yeah, well, shove it up yours," and or vice versa. Trying to be nice, but it just doesn't work.
No, I get that. The
Todd, we're calling you the tow truck. That's what our
tow
name is.
truck.
Well, he's gotten into driving NASCAR,
Yep.
kind of like Bob Sparkplug Holly.
Okay. Yep.
But apparently, a lot of people says tow truck because that's kind of how he gets around these days around the track.
I'm not laughing at that at all, Todd. That's not even funny. That's okay. Yeah, that's a
Fired
little
across
funny.
the bow, right?
See, now Todd has to come on.
I don't know if he can actually watch all this stuff, but of course, him being a hater, he's gonna want to hear what I have to say. He's gonna want to try and rain on my parade.
Exactly. Oop, here we go.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for putting us together at CK Expo a couple of years ago at the same table. That was fun.
Hey, I'm all about the friction. I mean, the entertainment.
Yes, and apparently we entertained his blood all over your stage.
Yeah, there was that. I don't know if I still have pictures of that or not.
I got a video of that. But the thing is, the fans, they seem to love all the brutal attack on him. It wasn't like a simple like WWE, like it's a nice attack. It was brutal. And these guys were eating it up. These little monsters were just wanting more blood.
Some of the most evil are the most little. I guess you would know.
Right. All right, we're hitting the 1 hour mark. I mean, this has been a pretty entertaining show. I enjoyed it. I'm
It's
kind
been
of
a blast.
running. I've been running out of things to go with because we've pretty well caught up.
Yes. And actually, I have to get ready. I got to call Sid in about 10 minutes. So I should jump off.
Oh, really? You call? Why don't you just invite him over here? Send him the link if he knows how to freaking type.
Oh, dude. We do most of this on the phone now. So he loves it.
What?
He just hits a link. We do most on the phone now. So he hits the link and he goes. He's good.
Oh, okay, because I can just imagine him when I was chatting with him. Take a little pencil because I know you have like giant monster claws that you can't hit the little, phone to press the backslash.
Boom, 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 boom.
I think it'd be fun. It would be funnier if he was watching, but if he sees this video, I take none of it back. All right, yeah, we got to get going before I get myself in more trouble with him.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you do. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun.
I'm a dead man, aren't I?
Sid and I will be sitting at the table. Where's Steve? I don't think he's gotten out of the car.
When I say he's
and it's
coming
at the
at him,
hotel.
he just kind of like kept on going to Windsor.
Yep, gone.
Rhonda, can't wait to see
Yes, Rhonda.
see you both. Fingers.
Oh, big
Hopefully
time.
you won't need that
It'll
outfit,
be over. It's just
Rhonda.
a matter of time. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Just 2020 is kind of a wipeout. I'm only disappointed because I was looking forward to seeing the Black Widow film. I really was.
Yeah.
Sadly, now I gotta wait. Hopefully, it comes out.
It's still
November.
coming out, just later.
It's kind of weird that you
We'll
go to
see
stores
what happens,
and you
buddy.
see Doritos with Wonder Woman on it, and the movie's not out. The product placement's there, but
if you think about it, that's how it worked before too. That stuff came out long before the film ever came out.
long.
Mm-hmm. Now it's longer.
Okay, well, as you know, tomorrow I've got Rob, Dark Side of the Ring, Rob Rage. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., we'll be talking about everything there. And on Friday, I've got another guest. The author and writer of, or author and artist of Tommy Gun Banshee.
Oh, nice.
Uh, Todd Sullivan, I went to Sheridan College with him. He was a few years before me. I mean, he's a very talented, awesome artist. He's done a couple comic books, Tommy Gun Banshee, which was crowdfunded. The art on here is like totally fantastic. You love it. It's why he's not involved with some of the big cartoons or the big comic book companies is beyond me, because he's just so super talented. His comic books, if you pick them up, it's like a movie, right? It's not just two people all the time, right? It's like different shots, different angles, right? It just tells a story. It keeps it coming. It's fantastic.
Nice.
And that'll be Friday at 2:00. Stop sharing. So we're back to normal. Yeah, so these are
Alrighty, buddy.
decent shows. I'll be chatting with these people. It'll be fun. And
Yes.
great talking to you, Rob. Nice seeing you again. And if no one
You
else
too, buddy.
makes a comment, then we'll probably end it now. You got a couple seconds. Anyway.
Alrighty, buddy.
All right, take care.
3,
Thank you.
2, 1.
Just stay on.
No comments.
Boom.